Hey guys, it's Mimi with a success story. I wanted to share a recent success story I had regarding a dream car. So, I had been trying for probably a year to purchase my dream car. I knew exactly what I wanted, I knew exactly the features, the color, all of the different bells and whistles that I wanted this car to have. And I knew how much I wanted to pay for it. And I was really, really clear in my desire. And I do remember a few times using living in the end, that technique, in terms of how I would feel when I had that car, and staying rooted in that feeling. At the time, I have a SUV now. At the time, I had a small four-door sedan. Actually, no, it was a five-door hatchback, that had constant problems, to the point where I would oftentimes get in the car in the morning and the car wouldn't start. So I constantly had this anxiety around my current car. And I wasn't actually employing the law of attraction because I probably could have avoided a few of the issues with my existing car, but I knew I wanted to move past that car. It didn't match the vision I had of myself, which matched this new car. And so, in terms of the techniques that I used were living in the end and also changing my self concept. So, I would start to think of myself differently in terms of what life would I lead, what would I be doing, how would I feel if I had this new car. So being able to do lots of road trips was definitely a big thing, which I couldn't do with my current car because it was so unreliable. Also being able to drive other people. I would have a lot more space. It was more luxurious. I was going to kind of feel more proud and prideful of my car because I was looking for a car with a leather interior. So, that felt kind of more grown up and luxurious and all of those things. I wanted to be able to haul more things. So, very into gardening, so I'm always hauling plants and bags of soil and this and that, materials. I've always got some DIY project on the go, and so being able to kind of haul more things, so have more boot space or back space of the car to haul things. What else? I wanted a sunroof so that when I was doing my road trips, I could enjoy the sun, and have that feeling of the sun on my skin. The feeling of height, because I wanted to buy an SUV, I knew that I was going to be kind of higher in the car, probably better able to see obstructions in the road or what have you. Whereas in my smaller car, lower car, oftentimes I was worried about, obstructions that might be, particularly when I was backing up, whether there might be kind of, pylons or what have you in the way. And so all of these things I really tried to attach, these visuals I tried to attach emotion to. How free I would feel on the open road with my car, sitting in this elevated, luxurious, heated leather seat with my friends in the car, music going, having the safety and security of being able to travel long distances without my car breaking down, because I knew I was going to be buying obviously a newer car. Just the feeling I would have when I would go somewhere and I'd come out to the car park and I'd see that car, the car that I desired. So I really stayed focused on those feelings. But at the time, I wasn't actually using inspired action. I was spending my weekends going to car dealerships, being super frustrated. I was either not finding the car with all the features and things that I wanted, or when I was finding it, I couldn't get it at the price. I was kind of being given the runaround by these dodgy car dealers who were trying to sell me things I didn't want. And I started to get really frustrated. And at one point I went, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not spending any more weekends. I know exactly what I want. I'm going to have the car come to me. I don't know how that's going to happen, but this car needs to come to me. It's going to cross my path in some way. Maybe a neighbor's going to be selling it. Maybe I'm going to see it somewhere without any effort. I have no idea how that's going to happen, but I am not spending any more weekends driving to find this car. This car is going to come to me. One night about midnight, I was kind of reading through a news feed. I came across an ad for a car company that I had never heard of, called Hello Cars. Happy to mention it because I had a great experience. Not being sponsored by them, by the way, but came across this ad that mentioned how they would match or better a dealer's price, because price was something that I was really certain I wasn't going to overpay for this car. It was really, really clear that I wanted to get it at a specific price. And I believed I could get it at that price, regardless of all of the things in my 3D, numerous dealerships that were telling me that I couldn't get it at that price. I was rooted in that belief that I could get it at that price, and I never wavered from that. So I see this ad. It basically speaks to one of the things that had been a barrier, is getting the right price, and not overpaying. So I clicked on the ad. I found the exact car that I'd been looking for, with all the features in the right color, all of the things that I wanted, and they would deliver the car to my house. I'd never even heard of a company that would do this. I'd never heard of a service that would do this, not only not in Australia, but globally. So suddenly I come across this company I've never heard of that provides a service that enables me to buy the car online, to have a 7-day money back guarantee should I have the car delivered to me and it wasn't as it had been advertised. And again, the car would be delivered to me at the price with the specifications I wanted without having to leave the house. So talk about a miracle. Honestly, I don't even think I was sure I was completely awake when this crossed my path, because I thought, this is a miracle. I've never even heard of it. So consequently, I wasn't even required to pay for the car in full at that point. I put a $500 deposit at midnight, and within 7 days, I think it was actually 3 days, that they delivered the car to me. It was exactly what I wanted, but I also obviously had the assurance that if I found any kind of scratches or flaws that I was unhappy with, that I could return it. But they delivered the car to me, full tank of gas, at my house, and I still have that car to this day. So I just wanted to share that success story. I didn't use a lot of techniques. Again, I used kind of living in the end primarily, and I didn't do it every day. I did it like a few times, and then I let go. But I was really, really adamant that I was going to have this come to me in the way that I desired. And I didn't falter from that belief and that faith. I wasn't agonizing over it. I wasn't fearful. I really just ignored my reality. I ignored what people were telling me, like the dealers, like other friends, like other people. And I just let the universe work out the details. And so I just wanted to share that story with you, because that's how simple it can and should be. If you're exhausting yourself doing tons of techniques, you're going about it the wrong way. Utilize the techniques that instinctually feel good to you. I wanted to feel good when I got in a car, whatever that car ended up being. At the time, I didn't have the car I wanted, and I still had to, drive my existing car before my dream car literally landed on my doorstep. And so, as a means of just giving myself relief, I visualized and I fantasized about what it would feel like in my new car. As I said, less as a manipulative technique to try and bring it in, and more to just give myself the feeling of relief, as opposed to getting in the car that I had and feeling fear and wasn't, not being afraid that I could bring in the car that I wanted, or the car would start. Funnily enough, just as I'm saying this, I thought about another manifestation associated with this whole car thing. So as I said before, I was pretty much on a daily basis getting into my car and it not starting. And I wanted to sell that car because I'd put money into that car, I'd taken care of that car, I'd gotten lots and lots of repairs on that older car that I had. And again, I was adamant that I'm not going to just junk this car. I'm going to get some money for it, an amount of money that I feel is fair and reasonable. and someone is going to buy it who's really happy and is thrilled about it and feels good about it. And I'm not going to, I'm someone who has integrity, so I'm not going to try and fool people. I'm going to be honest about the car. But it's going to be taken off my hands for the amount of money I want without any problems. And again, considering that I had been having daily problems with the car even starting, that was a massive leap of faith. However, that is exactly how it happened. I ended up selling the car to a young girl whose dad was a mechanic. However, it had absolutely no issues when I went to sell her the car. So I remember her coming to the house, and the car was sitting out front, and I got in it, and I remember just thinking, I really hope this car starts. It started without problems. We drove around, we pulled over, then she drove the car, and it operated flawlessly. I think we stopped the car again, obviously exchanged money, and then she started the car again and drove it away. No issues at all, and I got the money that I wanted. So 2 manifestations related to a dream car in one, all without minimal effort. I didn't do weeks of scripting. I didn't do daily living in the end. I didn't have photos of the car all over my house. I didn't put a lot of effort into it. The main thing that I did was I believed and I trusted and I felt it was taken care of and I let it go. I wasn't obsessing over it. So, creating what you want doesn't have to be hard, even if it's something big. And a car for me was big. This dream car was something I'd been thinking about for years and decided, okay, now's the time. So I hope that whatever you're trying to manifest, big or small, that it comes to you with as much ease and fun as mine did. So hope that helps you, and I look forward to chatting to you in the next video. Bye.